Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And welcome to another color and chat. One of my commenters, I always want to call them commentators, not quite what we mean. Let me lower the light a little bit. Yeah, we'll have to wait till we get a page and see. So one of my commenters requested the Color by Numbers Happiness book for me to color in, and I love this book, so I love to color in it. I've been going in order, so I looked at what the next page was. These are the two I've done. And the next page was The Girl with the Balloons, and it looks like a great one to do on camera. So that's the one we're going to do. My color palette is on this side. I'll try and keep everything in screen here. And I think you're gonna want to see pretty much all of it. But let's zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay, so this is what I will be coloring in. So I've got my palette over on the side here, which is great, and I've decided to, I've been using my fine liners and, well, not fine liners, ultra fines in my Bics and Sharpies, and if I don't have a color, I'll pick a alcohol marker from somewhere else. So I'm writing down which colors I'm going to use for each color, because this is a large color palette with several colors in each grouping, you know, of several greens and purples and so on. So I've picked out the first 9 colors here, thinking that's the most we'll probably get to in today's sitting. So I am going to do these in the number order, which is what I do unless I am working from a grid. And I do have a request, another request, and then I'm out of requests. So if you guys want to request any book that you've seen that I have on my channel, if you'd like to see me do a coloring in those, just make a suggestion down below, and I will add it to my pile, which consists of one book now, of books to do for my color and chat. So please give me your input. What book would you like to see me color from while we do this? I forget what I was thinking before I said that. So anyways, let's get started. I have a sheet of protective paper here. It's actually 2 sheets. It's just old paper from my journaling stash of papers. Put the colored sides together, so I have the white side to do any testing of markers or colors or whatever if I need to. But I've pulled these. So we're going to start with number 1. Oh, I know what I was saying, is that I do the numbers in the order, you know, in chronological order when I'm doing a color by number like this. The only time that changes is when I'm doing a grid. So, you know, it's a bunch of squares, or there's grids of other shapes, circles, triangles, hexagons. When I'm doing those ones, if I get a chance to before the color and chat, oh man, there's going to be one of those days. Before the color by number, color along, creative color by number, if I still have one to do, I will add one of my grid ones so you can see how I do it. But basically what I do is I start with the number that's here, and I work it, and I try and work it through. And then I start with the next number here, and I'll work it through. I just find it easier with those, but I'll try and show you. But I do have a book for next week lined up. So we're going to start with number 1, which is Pale Pink. And today I am using 3 Sharpies, and the rest are Bic Infinities. No, not Infinities. Intensities. Gonna have to get used to that new name. They changed their names of their markers so quickly that first they were Mark It's, then they went to Markings, and then before we were used to the name Marking, they changed it to Intensity. So here's the one right here. So we'll start with this one right here. So how are you today or this evening? It is evening here for me. I don't know the exact time. My camera doesn't have the time showing when I have it recording. But I think it's 7 something in the evening. And it is just, the sun is just starting to set, so it's a little, getting a little bit dark out, but it's still light enough to see out there. So I am coloring by artificial light because that definitely would not bring enough light in here. And I didn't want to start too late because then this room gets very, very dark. I do have several lights in here, but it's just an old house and the rooms are naturally want to be dark. So tell me what you've been up to this week since we last chatted on Friday. Well, today I went for, it's Thursday, so every Thursday I go for my pain shots, and yeah, it was no fun today. I've been getting them for so long that you get used to them, and you know, they just feel like pricks, even though they aren't. It is a humongous needle that they stick into me. But yeah, anyways, I usually don't cause any fuss and it doesn't really hurt or anything, but oh, I've been in so much pain since Tuesday, I believe it was. Tuesday early evening. I've been in so much pain since then that I think that my whole body was just feeling like so sensitive because of the pain, that everywhere else in my body was really sensitive, and as soon as he touched me with the needle, oh man, I felt like a newbie. I was whimpering with each needle that he gave me and trying very hard not to yelp or scream, because that's what newbies do. And while we're all sitting in the waiting room, every now and then you'll hear screams. Well, not really screams, not ah, but you know, more like yells and you know, kind of like whimpering, crying, and you know, we'll hear that coming from the back, and we'll all kind of look at each other and kind of, you know, give that knowing smile, and then somebody will say, "Newbie," and it's like, you know, we all kind of smile because we know what it was like. We were there one day. Now we're seasoned pros at this stick my whole body with needles business. But yeah, so it really hurt, and I bled. Like, you know, sometimes it's just like, you know, the tighter that my muscle is, the harder it is for the needle to go into it, and I'll bleed. But this time it was like I bled from every single stab with the needle, and I felt like I was bleeding like a stuck pig. I went to the bathroom, and when I stood up, the toilet seat was like covered in blood, and I'm like, oh my god. And, you know, so they have bacterial wipes in there, so I got one of those and rubbing the toilet and everything. And of course I have it on my clothes. I always make sure I wear something dark and something that's not gonna matter if I wreck it. So I'm looking for ones now in the balloons. Let's see, how's it going? Yeah, you can see good. Okay. So I came out of that, and normally when I get my needles, it just makes me really tired, and I'll have a long nap, you know, sometimes like for 5 hours or whatever. But I came out of this and I just felt so sore. And then as we were driving home, like my pain clinic is in the next city, so it's a little drive to get home. My bottom half of my body just started to relax, and kind of felt like it was just that I had no control of it, just like it was, you know, numb and everything. So got home and just flopped out in my bed. Though I did sleep, but I did wake up a couple of times during that sleep. So it was probably, you know, from 2 to 6, 6:30. Oh no, not 2. We got home at 12:30. So yeah, it was like 12:30 to about 6 that I drifted on and off because of the tiredness from the needles. But yeah, the reason that it hurt so much was on Tuesday evening I was in the shower, and I have special aids in the shower to help me. And so I was in there, and my shampoo was on the shelf just behind me. So I had to turn my body a little bit behind me, like put my head and my arm reach behind me to grab the shampoo. And all of a sudden there was this excruciating pain that felt like this slow rip or tear, and then burning, just burning, and that went on for hours. And then, so on, that was Monday night. I'm not sure if I said it was Tuesday. It was Monday night. And then, so Tuesday and Wednesday, I was in, well, I wasn't in a very good state. And I had to go see one of my specialists on Wednesday, and they had to do an exam, which was a little bit awkward because I had to get on this table and into a position, and my body just was not going to do it because it just hurt too much to be in the position they wanted me to be in. So we managed to finally get me partially set up and get things taken care of. So yeah, not a good week for doctors and my pain levels, but right now I'm fine. I'm still feeling tired though, so I'm hoping I don't have to cut this short because I start falling asleep. I have a pop here with me, so I'll be stopping every now and then to take a sip. And anyways, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. It seems like I've had quite a few of you come to join me here, and I wanted to welcome you, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. And I really appreciate you supporting my channel by your simple presence here in my numbers, and for interacting with me, leaving comments, and leaving likes, or if you have to, a dislike. It's all support for my channel, and I appreciate that from you. So for you guys and for everybody else here, I've come up with a little schedule for what I'm going to do for my channel. And so I did it all last week, and I've been keeping to it this week. So if you can say having done the schedule twice means that I'm on a schedule, we'll see. I do intend to keep to it, but my intentions sometimes don't come to fruition. But I shan't jinx myself by saying it won't work. It will work, because it's what I plan to do. This is going to air on Friday, and I think that's all the ones. That's all the ones I can see. So I'm going to be looking for 2s now, and if I see any 1s while I'm looking for 2s, I will color them. And that first pen that I was using was an ultrafine Sharpie, and this is a Bic Intensity in the color Pink Flamingo. And I couldn't find my ultrafine of this. I have one, but I just have to use the thicker one, and be careful if we have any tiny spaces here. So, get back to it. Yes. What should be airing on Fridays is a color and chat. That is one thing. I've done a few of them, but it's one thing that I've had problems with, because I don't have the most exciting life. If you're new with me, you may not know this already, but I am housebound most of the time because of my mobility and my pain. So so we do get a lot of coloring done. And where was I going with this? Oh my goodness. This is going to be one of those days where I forget what I'm saying in the middle of saying it. Oh. Does that happen to you? See, oh, I was talking about how Fridays are going to be color and chats. Now I have a problem with knowing what to say. So I have all week, if anything happens, I've just jotted it down on a note, so that if I come up blank with what to say from my head naturally, I can just look over to my notes and pick something that I've jotted down there to tell you. They're mostly things that happen during the day. So that's what's going to happen on Fridays. So I'm going to give you new content on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which has always been my schedule, though I haven't always upheld it. I plan to now. Mondays are going to be a speed coloring of some kind of mystery color by number. I just absolutely love watching those. They're so much fun to watch well, first of all, it's fun to watch speed coloring because, you know, I mean, you know how slow it is to color when you're taking your time, but just to watch as the picture comes to you while you're watching a speed coloring is fun. So I'm going to do those out of mystery books like the Disney ones and the Sun Life Drawing, their Quest series and other things like that. So that's what I'm going to do on Mondays. Wednesdays is going to kind of be a free-for-all day. At this point in time, I'm going to be doing swatching or hauls on the Wednesday, and I'm hoping I can do my finished pages on those Wednesdays too. So I'll try and work it out. I can't find any more twos, so I'll try to work that out. And anything else that comes up on my channel that becomes some content I can give you, I'll upload that on Wednesday for you. And then we're back to Friday where we will do a color and chat. And I hope you guys can keep me busy by picking books for me to color out of. And you can go back through my channel and look at my hauls. And back in March when I started color tubing, I had been tubing in the mixed media world previously. When I started my color tubing, I decided to start off with going through my entire collection of coloring books and doing a big purge of the stuff that I just don't color out of. So I got rid of a lot of books, but if you look at that, you'll see the ones I kept. So those will give you some ideas of what to tell me to color. And there's not a lot of twos here. Any in the sky? No. So I'm using a I'm just going to call it a microscope again. A magnifying glass when I'm going over the girl here, just to make sure I don't miss any numbers in tiny spots. I do color with a magnifying glass a lot of the time. I wear glasses. I actually need a new prescription, and I have an appointment probably next week, I think it is. So we'll see what happens with that. I know I'm going to get a new prescription because these are just reading glasses, and I now need glasses for all the time wearing because I wear my reading glasses all the time. So there's that. What have we got going on here? Let's see if I can go up here. This is where I really needed my fine liner. I'm not sure where that's going. Is it here? Ooh, that's itty bitty fine work. I'm using this fat thing. Okay, don't do too bad. Yeah, so the other thing that I wanted to ask you guys to do is if you have any ideas or videos for me to do, let me know. You can talk to me in the comments down below, or if you go down into my description section, you'll find my email address, which you can email me and leave me suggestions of videos you'd like to see from me. One thing that I'm not going to ever do is tutorials, because I have nothing to teach you. I am a straight colorer most of the time, When I use pencils, I do like to do a little blend here and there, but it's not anything that's a technique that could be written in a book or anything. It's just my own version of how I've seen people blend. And it works for me, and you know, that's why I color. It's a really, it helps me really well, I have to say, mostly with my anxiety. It helps with my depression a bit too, but mostly it helps me with my anxiety, and that's why I color like so much. Okay, I think that's it for twos. I don't see any more over there. And oh, there's one in a balloon down here. Maybe I should look at all my ones and see if there's a two around it. Well, I thought I'd done that already. Yeah, here we go. Just this one. And then we're done. So, since I hit 1,000 subscribers, things have been a little different around here. It's taken some getting used to, but I've been busier with people, and that's a good thing. I've had a lot more interaction with people contacting me and talking to me and leaving comments. People just seem to be more open to me, because you know, maybe having 1,000 is lets people know that you're a serious YouTuber. I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, so my comments and my emails have increased, and I'm switching to Fandangle Pink, the ultra fine, for number 3s. So I had to get used to answering that mail and that communication, and I have to admit to the truth, it is a little bit overwhelming, but it's all in a good way. So I just have to not let it overwhelm me, and you know, answer emails and comments when I'm able, you know, because I do have bad days, and on those days I'm not going to be able to write a decent comment or reply with a good email, or you know, not to the degree to which I believe my subscribers deserve my full attention when I'm replying to them. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna let it outdo me. I'm gonna take it as it comes, and yeah, and like I said, it's all a good thing. And the other thing that was really funny must have been the first week that I had 1,000 subscribers. I got contacted by 2 different diamond painting companies asking me to do their diamond paintings on my channel, and those I declined because I don't do diamond painting, and I'm not interested in doing it. I think if I was younger, it would be the type of thing I was really into, because I did a lot of cross-stitching back then, and until my eyes started to bother me, I stopped. And, you know, I just like working with graphs and grids, you know, that's why I like color by numbers. And when I'm knitting and crocheting, I do a lot of afghans by, you know, making squares and putting them together. So I can just see myself having been really into diamond painting, you know, when I was young, but not now. I do not have the patience for fiddly bits. I just, like, if it has fiddly bits, I'm out of there. Do not want to deal with it at all. When I was heavy into the journal making and stuff, you know, everybody's putting beads on things, and, you know, everybody had supplies of beads and were using those for certain things, but to me, they were just a whole bunch of fiddly bits in a container, and, you know, I must have put beads on like 2 things, and I made hundreds of things. So, yeah, I just know that when I get back into the journaling and stuff, I'm not even going to keep a supply of beads, because no fiddly bits for this girl. I just thought that was funny, because I know there was a big movement there a few months back with all the color tubers taking up diamond painting, and through them I heard that the diamond painters were taking up coloring, and that the two, oh, what the heck number I'm looking for? 3. I just passed some of those. The 2 hobbies were I guess you could say meeting in the middle. So yeah, I thought that was funny, that as soon as I got 1,000 that somebody reached out. Now, what I really would like is for some companies with coloring supplies and books to reach out to me and let me review their products, because I am a quote-unquote professional reviewer. I've reviewed thousands of books on Amazon ever since the day that you know, I got on there. I don't know if they took reviews at the beginning, but either as soon as I got onto Amazon I started reviewing, or they opened up reviews, and that's when I started reviewing. So yeah, I've done that, and I've had a lot of the big 5 publishers. Well, I guess there's only 4 now, but had them send me physical copies of advanced copies to read and review. Once the trade went into e-copies, I really backed off the reviewing of new books, because really not interested. I do read digital books. I probably read more digital books than, well, not probably, I do read more digital books than physical ones now, but I didn't want e-copies of books to read, because they just get lost in on my Kindle, and you know, I forget they're there. When they're on the shelf, they stare you in the face, and you know they're there. You know what you have, and it was much easier. So then, with my reviewing career, I did that with books, and then Amazon opened up reviewing to other items besides just books, because it's always been the industry norm, the book industry norm, to send out advance copies and have them reviewed. Heck, they did that in Charles Dickens' day. He would get advanced copies, and and review them, and people got advanced review review copies of his work and reviewed them. So yeah, it's an industry norm. But they opened it up to other stuff, and so I did a lot of that. I got a lot of requests, and I wasn't the type of person who reviewed everything I was asked to request. I made sure it was something that I needed or wanted, or that, maybe it wasn't something I knew I needed or wanted, but it like really sounded up my alley, and those are the things I would review. And I always gave honest reviews that were my own opinion. Did not always give everything a good review. Then Amazon finished that. There was so many people abusing the system that they stopped allowing third parties to offer items for review, and Amazon influencers can only review books. Well, I should say, you can review anything that you've actually bought off of Amazon and it's in your order history. So, you can review furniture or whatever, car wax, but the only thing they allow that you didn't buy from them is books, because it's the, and they said in their statements, it's, the industry norm, and they'll never stop allowing advanced copies of books to be reviewed, or for, people just to review books, no matter where they bought them. If you got them from the library, you can still review it. So then I went back to just reviewing books and things I had bought, and then the Amazon Vine program came out, and that was out on .com for many years, and I couldn't review on that because you have to be an American. I can review on the American site, but I can't belong to the American Vine because they only ship within America. Or I shouldn't say that. I guess I've gotten used to so many British people calling the States America that I just found myself there calling it America. It's very annoying as a Canadian, because you should know, people should know that America is from the tip of, like at the North Pole, which is at the tip top of Canada, all the way down to the tiny tip point of South America. Those whole two continents and everything that belongs to them is America, or the Americas. And the States is the United States of America. So, you call it that, or you call it USA, or here in Canada we call it the States. And but it shouldn't really be called America, because it's just not. It would be like, us foreigners calling Scotland England, or calling Ireland Great Britain. Okay, so I guess that was a little bit of a weird rant that somebody may not agree with me, but Heidi-ho, as a couple of my British YouTubers say. I think it's Kate who says that occasionally. Okay, so that's all for my threes. So who knows what I was talking about before I said that? Oh, I was talking about my reviewing. Yeah, so anyways, to make a long story even longer, I eventually they opened up Amazon Amazon Vine. I hope I called it that earlier. I have a feeling I might have called it Prime, but it's Vine. It's Amazon Vine, or Vine Voices. They're Amazon's official reviewers and belong to a program which you have to be invited to. You can't apply for it. You have to be invited to. Okay, so we're switching to a red Sharpie for number 4. And yeah, so now I am a Amazon Vine reviewer, and along the way I did some of the influencer programs, you know, that send you free food and beauty products, and I've done all that. And yeah, so now I review books and Vine products through the Amazon Vine program on Amazon.ca. So if anybody wants to, here I'm self-promoting myself, self-promotion ahead. If any illustrators or companies out there want to send me their coloring books to review, I can give you a professional review and put it on various media. I have various social media outlets, and if you're a company who makes coloring supplies, I would be happy to review your product if it's something that I use or could use, and I can give you professional reviews of that too. So that will probably be heard by nobody who will take me up on it. Well, that's why we're all here a little bit, isn't it, for self-promotion. It's kind of like, you know, you have to be a YouTuber, you have to kind of like to, you know, I won't say be an attention getter, but, you know, you have to like yourself, and just like to be out there, out in the eye, even if you're a shy, reclusive introvert, you know, like I am. I wouldn't do any of the stuff that I do on YouTube in my real life. And most people that I know in real life haven't a clue that I YouTube. And I think I like it that way. Because I don't think I would like the people in my real life to be checking up on me with, well, not that they'd be checking up on me, but, you know, they could take me to task for something that I did on YouTube, or they could make fun of me, or, you know, it's just, yeah, it's just for me and the thousands of viewers who click on my link for however many minutes they watch me. My watch time has really gone up since I switched to color tubing. Actually, color tubers really stay and watch more of a video than the mixed media world. And journalers, that community. Okay, so I've forgotten what number I'm looking for in red. 4. So that's good. So one thing that's coming up in October is that my husband asked me if I wanted to go to the Bishop's Gala this year. We've been a couple of times in the past and I really liked it. Before my mobility issues became so great, I was, I guess you could say I was a partier. I loved to go out and party, and dancing was my thing. You just take me somewhere where they're playing 80s music, and I would dance all night. I would be on that dance floor all the time, except for when I had to go to the bathroom and when I needed to, when I was getting dehydrated. I needed to rehydrate myself. I'd sit down for a song or two, but I would dance all the time. And the last time we went to the Bishop's Ball, we danced. But now, I'm not going to be able to do that. And when he asked me to go, I started to cry. Because I just thought it was so sweet of him to have invited me to go, and you know, he was ready to purchase the tickets, you know, because they sell out pretty quick, and you know, it's not cheap. It's you know, I'm not going to say what the price is, but you know, it costs so many dollars per plate, so you know, it's a black tie. Well, originally it was black tie, but the amount of people who dress for a black tie event, sadly, has become very few. So now it's formal, and they have ties at the door if the men come without one. So yeah, you know, you get to put on a gown. The ladies have no problem of dressing up. So I'm going to, well, just let me continue with the sad bit for a minute. Yeah, that I started to cry because I just thought of how sweet it was that he asked me, and here I was, you know, I guess I was feeling sorry for myself at the time, that, you know, here I was not going to be able to fully enjoy it, you know, gonna have to sit there and not dance. And you know, the first thing I said is that, you know, no, I don't want to go. I said, there's going to be people we know there, and I don't want them to see me like this, you know. And I mean, sometimes that's you know, how I feel, and I know I have to get over it. But you know, there's some places I don't go because I don't want people who, you know, acquaintances, not close friends, but you know, people who know me, to see me like this, because you know, they're gonna go back to their friends who know you and, you know, say, oh my goodness, have you like seen the condition that Nikki's in now? So, you know, there's that. So I didn't want to go because there'd be people that I knew there. Then then I changed my mind, and I didn't want to go because there wouldn't be anyone we knew there. And, you know, I said, like, what if we get stuck at a table with people we don't know and they all know each other and they don't want to talk to us? And so, yeah, I had to go through all that, but he said I had to get out. We have to go. You'll enjoy yourself in the end and all this sort of stuff. So I have to say I am way, 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 way anxious and nervous about going to this thing. I mean, it's not until the end of well, close to the end, I think, of October. It's in October anyways. And I'm already anxious over it when I think about it. But yeah, I'm going to wear the dress that I got for my son's graduation, because when I got that dress, I always like to have a dress or two that's, good dress, that costs, a few $100s or whatever, so that, you can go to these kinds of things if you're invited. So, when I got that dress, didn't spend as much as I would have in the past, but, still it was a pretty penny. And I said, this will be my dress if we ever go anywhere where I have to wear something fancy, or, it's not exactly a gown, but I'll fit in with everybody else. Not very many ladies wear gowns anyways. It's just not. Unfortunately, people just don't do that anymore. Of course, there will be people who are dressed to the nines. There will even be men in tuxes, but more than likely they'll be the older generation. So I'm going to wear that dress because that's its purpose. It was for the graduation and for anything like this. So I already have my dress, so it's not going to cost me anything. And I just don't know what I'm going to do for shoes, because I'm not really going to be using my feet very much. What I would really like is for my wheelchair to come in and me able to go in that, and then I can put on any shoes I want. I could put on some of my 4-inch heels and sit in my wheelchair in them, because I won't be using them. I can't wear it. I'd kill myself if I tried to walk in those today. But oh man, I used to love my shoes. I was a shoe whore, I have to tell you. Every outfit had to have a pair of shoes to match it. And yeah. And then the purse. So, I buy a lot of coloring supplies and books and stuff. Maybe some people think it's exorbitant, and we don't have a lot of money. We're lower family, and but I'm not buying shoes to go with every outfit. I'm not buying $200 dresses for balls and galas that we used to go to. And I'm not buying a purse to match everything I wear, and not getting a new coat every winter. And I used to smoke. Now, how long has it been since I stopped smoking? Let's see. It's been 50 to 40, would be 10, 13. Yeah, it's got to be over 15 years. So, no, it's not over 15 years. I think it's probably 13. So yeah, I quit smoking, and so I don't spend money on smoking. And also, when we used to go out dancing all the time, I would be spending money on alcohol, and that's a pretty penny right there. And I don't anymore. Don't even have any in the house, really. last time I had a drink was when my son came down for Christmas. So it was back in December. I had a few drinks. Well, I had one day when I did some drinking. And besides, now that I'm on the painkillers that I'm on, I just don't have the taste for it. I'll have a couple of drinks, but you know, after that it's just like, no, I don't want any more, because I'm starting to feel a little woozy, and I know it's because of the mixture of alcohol and the pills. So, you know, I don't have any of those vices or any of those, you know, extravagant or just, you know, frivolous, I guess is the word I want. I'm not spending my money on any of that frivolous stuff anymore. So, you know, why shouldn't I spend it on my hobbies? And I have to admit that I am a shopping-aholic. I think I have said I have to admit more times than I should have during this chat and talk and whatever it's called. Color and chat. Oh, I watch French color tubers, and not just color tubers, but the French. Do you know what they call? Well, yeah, it is color tubers actually. Do you know what they call a color in chat? Well, for color they say colo, which is C-O-L-O-S. They say colo a, which means and, colo a blah blah. And the other YouTubers who you know, aren't color ones, you'll see their headings saying something or other blah blah. So you know it's a chat. I've even heard them say it when they're talking about the blah blah. I mean, honestly, that's what you're doing, right? All you're doing is going blah 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 blah. Lord only knows what I've been talking about on this. And that, I mean, that's the way it's going to have to be. So let's see if there's any more 4s. I'm pretty sure I'm done. Yep. So that's how she's looking already. She's looking good. Put down here, up there. And it has been an hour, so I am going to have to quit now, because my body can't take sitting in a chair at this at a table like it. Well, it just can't. So that's why my color and chats in the past have been 30 minutes. But ever since I got a cortisone shot in my shoulder, and I'm getting really deep massage, not massage, but deep muscle needles in my hip, I've been able to sit here closer to an hour, but everything is starting to ache, so that's my body telling me get out of the chair. So I'm going to have to close now, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me color this. It's not going to take long to color this at all, because I'm going to go into the greens next, so that'll take care of the grass. Well, up here is land as well, and yeah, there's probably some in the balloons. So yeah, so I think I say so a lot. Anyways, if you want to see this picture completed in the next couple of days, tomorrow or the next day, I'll finish this tonight, because I don't like to let things sit. So probably, well, not tomorrow, because I have something else I want to put on Instagram, and I don't like to bombard my pictures. I try to put one picture a day on Instagram. I post every day, so I try to post one picture a day. Sometimes if I do more than one picture out of the same book, I'll post those, like, so 2 or 3. But anyways, what I was trying to say is I will have this finished picture on my Instagram account in a day or 2. So you can look out for that. As I said, join me on Instagram, and that way you will see all my finished pages that I color throughout the month. Otherwise, you can wait until the end of the month when I do a flip of all my finished pages for the month, and this one will be there. So, as I said before, I'd really appreciate if in the comments you do 2 things for me if you have any ideas. Is 1, any books you'd like to see me color out of for my Friday color and chats. I only have 1 more request sitting here, so after that it's going to be me picking what I want, and I would love to do what you want if possible. So that, and secondly, if you have any ideas of what I could do on my channel besides what I already do, except no tutorials. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and have a good day, good evening, good night's sleep, and in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.